Good morning. Today is Saturday, March 2nd, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds TSLY, CONY, and MSTY. So obviously, since it's Saturday, typically all of the, weekly calls have expired. So most of the funds had to do some rolling, and we got some new strikes. However, for CONY, which is the first one on the board here, they already did that the day prior. So we don't have to cover that. We'll just cover, the typical update. So no trades for them. They do have a 200 strike for the synthetic, which again, that was added on the 29th, the day before. And, as mentioned in the video, that trade was not posted to the website. So the numbers that I plugged in were an estimate as of the close, the day prior, which, is what it is. Hopefully it's pretty accurate for the numbers. But anyway, so the 200 synthetic is looking pretty good because coin is priced above that. It's at 205. So if they close that position today, it's actually worth money, 12.8 million. And again, it's always good to be above the synthetic because, as you saw, I think, what was it the other day, right? People sold out of, maybe that was MSTY. Like people sold out of, sold their shares. So when a lot of people sell their shares, what happens is the YieldMax fund managers have to close out some contracts. So wouldn't you rather them close out contracts that are actually going to make money versus, contracts that they'd have to take a hit on? But either way, all right. So this synthetic expires April 19th. So let's go to the February tab. It's raining here, so if you hear some dripping, that's what that is. So let me zoom in a little. So coin went up 1.01% and CONY went up 1.32%. Okay. Let's look at the trades. Again, no new trades. And they did, close out all these other ones, which I probably should have grayed out. So again, we're just sitting here with the 240 strike, which expires next week. Cash and treasuries went up a whopping 166,000, which is essentially nothing. So it's irrelevant. Outstanding shares, 14.5 million. Weekly call income is god awful. They lost $90 million. So, I mean, bad. Bad, man. Bad. All right, so again, that strike, they're not scattering for whatever reason, but they have 17,550 contracts with a 240 strike, 16.64% out of the money. I can't be mad about how far out of the money they went. Could they have gone further? Maybe not. It's a pretty good percentage. However, I still think scattering is a smarter idea in both directions, right? They could have done a 10% out of the money, then a 15% out of the money, and then a 20% out of the money. I mean, they got 17,550 contracts, yet they just throw it in one. They threw their eggs in one basket, right? So, again, that was the day prior, though, but I was way too busy to bitch and complain too much. I was just bitching and complaining about them not posting the trade, which, by the way, was something that they did on there, and I had thought it was something I missed originally, but anyway, let's move on from that. Coin price, 205.77. 30-day IV, 89.53%. CONY is 24.64. Gotta love it, man. So when that crap dips again to 17, 18 bucks, I'll be buying. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at potential capital gains of $4.10. I mean, amazing. Here's my reaction. This is the CONY fund manager just grinding their teeth, like kind of like I hope I hope I make some money, right? You look at the weeklies, man. There's just like, if you look at profit loss column, lost 20 million, lost 648,000, lost 13 million, lost 872,000. They got a win there. They won 6 million. They lost 1 million. They lost 44 million. They lost 1 million. They lost 6 million, 5 million. Not a good month for the weekly calls. You know, the idea of the weekly calls is to make money, believe it or not. But it's just not working out. You know, I don't know. Because look at it. Okay, luckily, their synthetic income is up a lot because, again, they rolled their position, right? So the underlying stock went up enough that since they rolled a position, they made money on the synthetic position. Keep in mind, if they actually only held the stock, like if they only held coin, you know, unless they sold it, there would be no other offset income. You know, it would just be the covered call income. And if the covered call income was alone, there would be no income, right? Because it'd be a debit of 90 million. It would be a loss of 90 million. So the synthetic, you know, it replaces them owning the shares. It actually causes a tax event because they do expire. So the fact that it's working like that, you know, it's saving us, but at the same time, it's taking away the capital appreciation, you know, through the cap out, through us getting capped. But anyway, we're getting, this is actually the last weekend before declaration. I think declaration is Tuesday. So I'll have to do an estimate video probably tomorrow, which I'll get that out. But you guys have an idea where I'm headed with this. Net income on CONY, 56.1 million. Outstanding shares, 14.5 million. Total income, net is 388 per share. So that kind of went down a little. Earlier, a week or so ago, is what, $5? But anyway, what are they going to pay? I still think it's going to be in the $2 range. You look at last month, total income was a debit, and they paid $1.57. So, no, I'm sorry, they paid $1.07. So that ate into their NAV by $4.40. So they're gonna preserve some NAV for sure. At least this is my guess. So if they preserve, say, like $1.88, if they pay $2 even, they preserve $1.88. That's pretty good. Or they could pay $1 and change and then preserve a little more. I don't know. We'll see. I got to think about it. I really didn't think about it that much, but I'm still thinking the $2 distribution looks better. Sometimes it's about looks too. All right, holdings. Nothing to talk about here really. Net assets total 357 million. NAV is 24.63 and trade price is 24.64. Close enough, right? All right, let's go to TSLY. Still got this 220 lingering, right? Let's go to photos. Here we go. They got a trade here. BC and an SS. BC is buy to close, SS short sale. So if you look at the BC, they did a buy to close on their weekly call that expired yesterday. That was a 200 strike. They paid 305 to close it. And then short sale, they opened a new position, a new call. They sold a call, 205 strike, expiring March 8th. And they got 355 credit for their troubles. So let's take a look at how that looks on our spreadsheet. And so if we go to, again, the 220 synthetic is still open. So if they closed it today, they would lose money because Tesla is still under that price. Next Friday, what we said is March 8th. So the Friday after that, these expire. Tesla, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's going to go above that, but if it does, great. Well, not great for our weekly calls, but we'll get into that in a second. Synthetic 185 has less contracts, but they're showing we can make 20.9 million, okay? They did not roll these, so 20.9 million netted against that. We're looking at almost $30 million loss on the synthetic, okay? But don't worry, guys. We have weekly income, you know? We're not making any synthetic income, but don't worry. They're going to make money on the weekly calls. Which, let me show you how much money they made. We have Tesla went up 0.35%. And then TSLY went up 0.74%. So we needed Tesla to go down yesterday. And it barely went up, but we still lost, right? We still lost. We had the 200 strike, which was lingering, right? When they sold that baby, it was 4.8% out of the money. Although I think when they sold it, it was actually less out of the money at the time. But regardless, at the end of the day, it reflected 4.8%, 18% out of the money. They made 9.2 million credit. Okay, great. That's YieldMax, right? Is that YieldMax? Not really, because you look at the close price, it closed above our break even, and we paid 305 to close the 200. We paid 12.8 million to close this position, right? So yeah, we went close to the money, and okay, granted, it worked last week. It worked like a charm last week. However, yes, it was still very, very risky, but they did it again. You know, last week they had a 200. They said, screw it, we'll do the 200 again. Had they done 205, we'd be sitting here making money, right? Had they done a little higher, we'd be sitting here making money. But no, they stuck with the 200. And guess what happened this week? We yield nothing. So we yielded nothing from the weekly calls. We yielded nothing from the synthetic. You know why? Because it didn't go even above enough to make money on the synthetic. It's inching up just enough to make us lose money from all angles. So this is the worst case scenario, honestly, because what works with coin is it goes up so damn much that, you know, they're going to make money on the synthetic. Here, we can't even get anywhere near our 220, and the 220 holds most of the contracts. Sure, the 185 looks great, but guess what? They have the same expiration. So this synthetic, all right, maybe they can close out the one. No, they're going to close these two out together. They're going to combine it into one at some point. But guess what? When they do that, they're going to lose about 30 million, at least as of today. So there is no synthetic bailout on this one. So since there's no synthetic bailout, we got to make money on the weekly calls. And it's just not happening. Like, it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like 200? Really? You're going to play that game? You're going to play it and you're going to get smoked. All right? You got smoked. You got a loss of 3.6 million. So not a good job, TSLY fund manager. I'm sorry, but you failed. I kept my mouth shut throughout the week. And it's because, you know, you got to let it play out. You know, you got to let the moves play out. Maybe it was smart, maybe it was not. Again, I always thought it was too risky. And sure enough, since they put all their eggs in one basket, since they went close to the money, even a small movement up, you know, was damaging, right? Because they did what? They did this 200. Tesla was at what, 191, around there. You know, Tesla inched up just a little bit and we still lost money. We can't, like, they play it so tight. Like, it's not a successful strategy right now. Again, guys, this is just my opinion, not financial advice. None of this whole video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. Again, I'm just tracking these funds for my fun and entertainment and hopefully yours. But at the same time, I'll give my opinion. So hopefully you're enjoying it. But anyway, that's all I got to say on the 200, man. At least they didn't roll the 200. But what did they do? Let's see. All right, March 8th contract, 42,080 contracts. At least we still have the same amount, so nobody's selling out. They got 355 per share, 205 strike, 1.16% out of the money. Okay? They don't give a damn, man. 1.16% out of the money. 205, break even 208. Tesla's at 202. Does Tesla look like it's slowing down? I don't know, man. Again, I'm not a chart guy. I don't want to be a chart guy. But to me, no, it does not. So I do not like that call. Not even a little bit. And I know people say I complain too much, but what's the point if I can't give my opinion? All right, let's move on. Cash and treasuries. Cash went to 2.7 million, so it was a 2 million increase. The 2 million came from the 14 million on the new position, and then net of the 12 million loss. So if that 12 million did not exist, or if it was a lesser number, our cash would be rolling, right? Because we need cash to pay out our freaking distribution next week. Now we got to take some from the damn treasuries. All right, sorry guys. All right, 2.5 million increase overall, but again, that's because the new position, which by the way, we could lose money on again. All right, total income 20.7 million. This is on the weekly calls, and yes, they actually have income, but again, it's because of last week. They made 19 million in 1 week because they got lucky. Tesla stayed below and it tanked on the Friday. It was a perfect scenario. And they got greedy and they lost their shirt again. Total distribution 46 cents, daily income 3 cents, daily yield 0.14%. Okay? Active tab 42,080 contracts, 205 strike, again 1.16% out of the money. All right, let's just hope Monday, Tuesday it tanks. All right, that's all we can hope for. And then we're back to 5-6% out of the money. Again, if you ask me, I think they should choose 3 strikes. I know it's more work, but scatter the strikes. All right, Tesla price 202.64, 30-day IV 41.89%. Tesla is at 19. Pre-reverse split, right? Be about what? 950, right? So it's almost at $10 essentially from back in the old days. Total capital gains, 0. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, here's my reaction. Sorry guys, got to do it. Welcome back, yield nothing. So there it is, yield 0. That's what they did, because they really did yield 0. They yielded nothing this week. Nothing on the synthetic, nothing on the weekly call, nothing. All right, so what do we got here? What are we looking at? I know, again, I got to make a prediction for TSLY. They got $19,000 loss in synthetic income. They got $20.7 million in short call income. Net $20.6 million income for the month of February. Again, at least there is income, but still, it's 46 cents per share. I was hoping they would win this past contract, and then this new contract would put them, in the 60, 70 cent range. But we're still at 46 cents. So if they do pay the 80 cents, which is what I was thinking, it's just going to have to come from the, dig into the NAV, which so be it. All right, outstanding holdings. Nothing to really talk about because, nothing. It's going to cost 340, but they got a whole week, 340 to close that position. But net assets, we got to hit that $1 billion soon. But net assets are 846,974,000. That's a NAV of 1896 and a trading price of 19. Okay, and that's it. That's it for TSLY. Again, it's a tight strike, which I should let them do their job. I know, but you saw what happened last week. We play that game. We get burnt. Sometimes we win. Sometimes we get our asses whooped, and we got our asses whooped this week. All right, MSTY. All right, they had a trade. What they got going on here? So they sold a call. They did a BC on a put. So you see the 950, that's the synthetic. But you look at the quantity, 1 contract. Like what? But 1 contract for them is a lot of money because look at their price. The price of the stock is over $1,000. So yeah, they closed out 1 contract. Okay, whatever. And then they have 2 BCs. They closed out 1,000 contract. And then they closed out another 4 1,000 strike contracts. So they closed out 5 contracts, and then they reopened 4. Okay, so they closed out 1 synthetic contract position. They closed out 5 weekly call positions, and then they reopened 4 weekly call positions. All right, everyone follow? Hopefully. Now let's get to the spreadsheet. Okay, what's up? Where is MSTY? All right, so they have the synthetic 950, right? I removed the 1 contract. And guess what, guys? What I just speak of when we talked about CONY, if you have to sell a contract, it's good to be priced above the strike of the synthetic. And guess what? MSTR is, because MSTR is a monster lately. So on the call, when they sold that call, they got 183.20 per share, and the put only had to cost them 83.68. So good. Guess what? We got a sell share. Big whoop. We just made $10,000. Boom. So that money went right into that March profit number. So again, their synthetic is priced at 950, and it expires March 28th. I can't think. Can't think. Actually slept a little today. Thank God. All right, so how did MSTR? Oh my, this stock is nuts, man. I can't take it. MSTR went up 5.53% yesterday. MSTY went up 6.29%. Gotta love it. Got to love it. All right, so what they do, they closed out some contracts, right? They closed out the 1 and the 4. They had to lose money. Oh yeah, I'm not letting them get away with this one. I honestly completely forgot because TSLY is making me not think right. But anyway, yesterday, as you recall, they opened 5 contracts with a 1,000 strike, and this was 2% in the money. Maybe it wasn't at the time, okay, but still, obviously it was a little tight. But why? Why? Like, you're 40% of the money. What was the point of these 5 contracts? What was the damn point of that? Congratulations, you just lost $8,300 for absolutely no reason. So maybe it was a typo. Maybe not. But the 1,000 strike, I guess they were doing a Hail Mary. Let's just see what happens. We got all these other contracts. Let's not worry. Oh, no, you lost. You lost a lot of money. Good job, guys. Anyway, let's look at the new position. March 8th, expiration. 4 contracts with a 1,230 strike, 13.95% of the money. Okay. 1 week on MSTR. I don't know, man. This stock is way unpredictable. So that is kind of tight. I like the 40%. Much better. Cash and treasuries, how'd that do? Well, cash and treasuries went down. Why? Because they had to pay money to clear out the stupid 1,000. But it is what it is. Lesson learned, hopefully. Outstanding shares, 300,000. Okay. Total net income, it's a loss of 773,000. So I'm not going to cover the rest. No point. Active tab, they got 3 contracts. Okay, they're scattering. We scattered now. 4 contracts, 1,230 strike, 13.95% out of the money. 8 contracts, 1,350 strike, 25% out of the money. 60 contracts at the highest strike. That's what I like to see. 1,430 strike, 32% out of the money. All expire March 8th. So again, I don't own this fund yet, but still, this is perfect. So I am passionate, even if I don't own the fund, because I am rooting. I'm rooting for these funds to be successful, because I love them. They're awesome, amazing tool. I just want wins. I want winners, right? Especially the ones I'm covering. We want to see winners here. MSTR price 1,079. 30-day IV, just forget it, man. It's just moneymaker here. 120. With IV like that, you're gonna make some massive premium. Look at MSTY chart. Got to love it. And look at MSTY, $26.55. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. Capital. Look at this. Capital gains for next week. Are you kidding me? $8.13. As I sit here and watch all you guys make money on MSTY, I'll sit here. And sorry, 1,000 strike, but here's my reaction. We just threw away $8,370 for no reason at all. And that's just my opinion, but I don't understand that move. Not one bit. Way too close in the money. 1 day expiration. You lost $8,370 for no reason at all. All right, let's move on past that, guys. Synthetic income, 1.2 million. Short call loss, 773,000. Net income, 497,000. And with 300,000 outstanding shares, if they paid us next week, we can get around $1.66. However, it's such a new fund that, again, I don't think they will, but I'll throw out my prediction in case they do. Nothing else to cover there. So, outstanding holdings into next week. Nothing really to talk about except the net asset value total is 7.9 million. The NAV is 26.45 and the trading price is 26.55. Okay? So, one more thing, guys. Little bonus content here. I'm getting a little aggravated with the TSLY strike prices, and they're going a little too close. And I also keep in mind I own other funds that I'm not covering, so I've been wondering, what are they doing with those? So I decided to pull up the other funds, and for some reason my implied volatility formula is not working. So I pulled up some of the other funds, not all of them, and I checked, okay, who had a trade on Friday? So I took the highest call price, there's the highest strike price from yesterday, Friday, and I added it to the spreadsheet and I compared it with the underlying price of that ETF, and I calculated what is the percent out of the money. So if we look at TSLY, and by the way, I'm referencing column G, so we'll highlight that in yellow. That helps. So this is maybe a distraction too, since it doesn't even work anyway. Come on, delete column here. Why are you not working? There you go, Google Sheets. I knew you could do it. All right, so TSLY. We knew that. 1.16% out of the money. Yuck. NVIDIA, 3.31% out of the money. I'm sorry, but yuck. AMSI, 2.4% out of the money. Well, all right. One thing to consider, which is why I had implied volatility, but I can't use it, is what is their IV? Like, if their IV is 50% or higher, right, you want to go more out of the money. If it's like 30%, you want to stay a little tight. But even AMSI, that's a little tight, 2.4%. But it's more than TSLY. So, all right, Phoebe, 1.53% out of the money. Really? For Phoebe? I don't know. That's even tight for Phoebe. I know they don't move that much. GUI, 2.11% out of the money. Better than TSLY. Nefly, 1.72% out of the money. This is one of my favorites, so that's a little tight for me. MSFO, 1.68% out of the money. A little tight. AMD, there we go. A little higher, 6.1% out of the money. PP, yes, this ticker is called PP, 4.06% out of the money. Well, it's better than 1, better than 2. SQUI, 4.73% out of the money. And last but not least, MSTY is one of the winners with 5.2% out of the money. So the moral of the story is they are doing their best to yield out maximum gains, going so close to the money. But when they go so close to the money, you all see what happens. Again, my plan is I'm going to start following different funds every 2 to 3 months. So I will be replacing probably MSTY. And then, the next one I'm going to do is NVIDIA. That is just I did votes before. NVIDIA is always one. So NVIDIA will be on replacing MSTY like in a month or two. To see how they do, and then after that, I'm probably selfishly want to do AMSI because that's one of my favorites. I just want to see how they're performing, because again, I own these funds, so I want to see like what are they doing. Are they doing I don't own MSTY, but I love what they're doing with MSTY. But these are a little tight, NVIDIA 3% out of the money on NVIDIA, really? NVIDIA is nuts. Like what the hell? And then, yeah, I don't know, man. A little tight. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Tesla, man. Like, we're just going to keep losing money. Tesla doesn't fly up like coin, so the synthetic is not saving us. Again, I'm done bitching. Sorry if I went a little overboard, but again, this is how I do it. This is how I make the videos. I explain what the trades, I explain the holdings, and I explain my opinion. So, as always, guys, this is not financial advice. I already told you that, though. So, you guys know that. But I do appreciate you guys watching. If you made it this far into the video, I do have a key word for you. And maybe TSLY and other fund managers will see it. And let's be nice about it. And let's just say, please scatter the strikes. Please scatter the strikes. Why not? Why not? Why not? Yes, you want to yield max, but you're not yielding anything. You're taking risk. You can yield a lot, if all works out. If you scatter the strikes, you're covering every which direction. So, I think that's a good comment. Maybe someone will read it that works for YieldMax, and then maybe they'll start scattering the strikes because I really want them to. Why not? Explain to me why not, by the way. If you guys think I'm wrong, please feel free to tell me in the comments because I don't think I'm wrong, not even one bit, because you saw what happened with TSLY. It's just not performing that good. The only reason it's moving up, obviously, because it's capturing a little of what's going on with Tesla, which is not much, but still. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. This is the update, and then I got a lot of videos to do this weekend. So stay tuned for my monthly portfolio update. Stay tuned for my YieldMax predictions, and also stay tuned for my options trading / swing trading update. So yeah, I'm gonna be busy, and then Monday, I got to get that other video out for the high yielders. So I guess I'll have to. I don't know how it's gonna happen somehow, some way or another. All right. But anyway, guys, enough. I'm done bitching. Let me post this up on YouTube, and show the love via like, show the love via comment, show the love via share. All right. Thank you all. I greatly appreciate it. Later.